Hi everybody, Cindy Utter with My Artsy Endeavors. We are on to card number 5, and this is face number 5. I actually purchase the art snack box every month, and this month we received a pencil in here. It's called a Blackwood. It's made by the same people that make our Neo Color 2s, and it says it's Swiss made and it's number 499 HB, and it's basically a graphite pencil, and it says that it draws a little bit thicker line than the regular graphic pencil. So we're going to play with it today. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do, and what I always do, is I start with my eyes. Let's see, I'm going to try to make this one a little bit bigger than I have been making them, just because I can. Okay, let's work on her eyes. She's actually going to have quite large eyes, so this is going to be a pretty large face. Very small space in between her eyes. That's okay. We're allowed to do that, right? These are our girls, guys, whatever we decide to draw. Animals, people, mutants, I don't care. Whatever we happen to draw is what we're going to get. So we're just going to play, again, making faces. I really don't have anything in mind when I start. I just start drawing and we go from there and see what happens. I know I made her eyes quite large, which means I'm going to make her face quite large. And so far I'm liking this wood pencil, this black wood pencil. I like it. Okay, so we've got our nose. We're going to have our nose here and here. Alright, now for her lips, we're going to have a little bit of shadow here and here. And let's see what our lips turn out like today. I think she's going to be a little bit of a pouty face. Maybe? Oh, let's see. I like it. Actually, I want to take that shadow back a little bit. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using this little, I don't know what you exactly call them, I can never say the name of them, I call them smudgers. And I'm basically just going over the lines that I put in with the pencil, and then I'm using the leftover graphite on the bottom of the smudger to throw in some shadows. Some shading, some shadows. Okay, I'm actually going to draw her face with it. So far so good, I like her. And again, I am practicing, so if you come on here and you're looking for perfection, you're not going to find it. Oops, see, we make mistakes, no biggie. Because I'm practicing. I'm learning what I like and what I don't like on faces. I am learning the way I want to draw a face versus the way everybody else draws a face. And we're just learning. Let's take a look at her. I kind of like her. She's kind of cool. I don't like this. This is a little bit too light in here. So I'm just going to darken the corners of her eyes a little bit. I'm going to darken this here. I don't like how light it is. Just give her some shadows here. Well, let's see. What are we going to do with her neck? Let's make her right here. Does that sound good? I don't know what, it's like glue. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with her hair. What are we going to do with her hair? Alright, so I fixed my, I hope I fixed my camera, and hopefully it will continue to record, but we'll find out, right? Okay, so I'm still just working with my little smudger here, just throwing some smudges in the eye, throwing a little bit of shadow around, maybe down here by her nose, by her eyes, and I am just using what graphite I have on this little smudger to make these little, just to make the shadows, right? Okay, so there we go. Now, like I said, I'm just using what I have on the smudger. I know somebody's going to correct me and tell me what the right name of this thing is, but that's okay. Starts with a T, I believe. Alright, so there she is in pencil. Now what I'm going to do is figure out, am I going to paint her? Oh, I think I need to work some more on the painting, so we're going to do that. And I really like this black pencil. So don't be surprised if you see me using this more. I kind of like the crispness in pencil lines that it gives. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so we've got some shadows here. We've got some shadows down under her neck. And I don't like that shadow there, so I just want to bring it in a little bit. Alright, and we got to figure out a hairstyle for this Lady Jane. I know she's not going to be Jane. We already have a Jane. So we'll be figuring out her name as we go along. We'll see what it ends up being. What am I going to do with her? What am I going to do with her hair? I don't know. Alright, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my little paintbrush I have here, and I'm going to take some white gesso, and I'm just going to gesso some of her face. I've thrown some white gesso here on my palette, right there. So I'm just going to put that here in front of me, and hopefully stay on camera. And I'm just going to kind of block out some of this background on her. I'm not going to block out everything. Just want to put that, you know, the letter F there toward the back a little bit. You know, the rest of the card's pretty much been gessoed. I just want to, like I said, just kind of get rid of some of that F there. Get rid of some of the blue on her nose. Doesn't really matter because we're going to paint her anyways. I just don't want to lose my shadowing that I've already got there. I'm just going to take some of this gesso off where I want the shadows to be. Put a little more gesso here on her fence. Alright, it's still showing through, but as I put paint on it, it won't. So, speaking of which, I am going to go ahead and dry the gesso on her. I'm going to grab some paints and we're going to paint her face. I'll be right back. Alright, so here's what I've done. I pulled out some paints, and I have this little container here that's airtight that I am going to mix some flesh paint. Let's see how this goes. First thing I'm going to take, I don't want to worry about these, but I don't like it when this all is dried paint up there. First thing I'm going to take is some of this light portrait pink. I just don't think it's quite the right color for a face. I am going to add just a touch of burnt sienna. I'm probably doing this wrong, but that's okay. That's how I learn, is by doing things wrong. I'm going to take a touch of burnt sienna, and I'm going to take just a touch of this yellow ochre. You know what? We're going to see what we get. Now, if you have a favorite recipe of flesh color that you really like and you think, see, that to me looks more fleshy. See, I got rid of that pink and I'm getting more of that. I'm getting more of this. Okay, so this is going to be the flesh I'm going to use. Alright, let me put the rest of the stuff up. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back again. I went ahead and I mixed up my flesh color paint. So let's see how it looks. See if it's any good. And I'm actually going to leave that graphite. Oh, I didn't mix it up good enough. See that? Some of my dark ochre's coming through. Guess I have to mix up some more, huh? Okay. And this is a airtight container. So, and I know I shouldn't be mixing it with my paintbrush, but I am. Alright. So I've got some dark ochre on her cheek there. That's okay. Alright, so let's see. See, I've got that dark ochre in there now. I've got quite a bit of it. So we're gonna work with it, right? We're just gonna work with that dark ochre. And what I'll do once I get this painted is I will actually go back over it with some more of this flesh that's not quite so dark. But I will use this in places also that I want the darkness. So let me clean this brush off again. I don't think I have all that ochre gone. There we go. So we'll just go back over that. See, so it's not so dark. And you hear my phone going off. And my sister just got some exciting news. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just playing with these faces, trying different things, different shadows, there's some more of that dark ochre. So one lesson I've learned by mixing your own flesh paint is to make sure that you have all of your dark mixed in, because if you don't, it comes out, just like it did on this one. So far I'm liking her. Not sure what her name is going to be yet. We'll figure it out as it continues. Just basically getting some base flesh paint down right now. I'm going to flip her upside down so I can get this side of her nose. And again, I am allowing the paint to pick up some of that graphite, which is fine. Just trying to spread it out a little bit so it's a little bit lighter there. So far, I like her. So far, let's just throw a little bit more of that paint right here. Awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm going to dry her up really good, and then we're going to keep working on her flesh paint for her face. We'll be right back. Alright, so she's pretty well dry. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a second coat of this flesh on her because I don't want her to look quite so splotchy. So we're just going to work on getting a little bit more of this flesh so that it's more of an even toned for her. And we haven't figured out her name yet. We'll figure that out as we go along. Still have to work on her eyes. We'll get that done. Got to work on her eyebrows. I think those are going to end up being put in with a black pen, maybe a black pit pen. Like I said, just working on getting her quite covered so she's not quite so look like she's got a splotchy complexion. See, I'm still bringing up some of that black ochre, or that dark ochre. I think it's on my paintbrush, but that's okay. Okay, I'm just going to give her a little bit more here. Just kind of clean up her edges a little bit. Work on her face a little bit more. We're going to clean up this edge a little bit, even though she's going to have hair. Alright, I'm liking her. Okay, so now I actually have my white gesso sitting here, and things keep falling down on me. Okay. I have my white gesso here, so I'm just going to take a very tiny touch of this on the end of the brush, and I want to give her a little bit of highlight right here over her eye. A little bit more than that. Let me, if it wants to give me some. Okay, I want to do a highlight kind of right here under both eyes. Give her a little bit of highlight. I definitely want to give her some highlights up and down her nose. More so this side. A little bit on the end of her nose. We're going to work on her lips. And I want a little bit of highlight down here. Just on this part of her neck. Like her. Okay, I'm going to get a different brush out because now I'm going to start working on her eyes. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a Stabilo pencil and a water brush, And with my Stabilo, I'm actually going to start doing her eyes. Okay, bring the shadow up, work on her eyebrows. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. I do want to bring it down a little bit, so we're going to bring this down. Work on her eyes, her pupil, her iris. Okay, I want to bring a little bit of this up, and again her eyebrows. Make her nose a little bit more defined. Okay, now I'm going to take my water brush and I'm going to activate this Stabilo. So we're just activating it and basically outlining her eyes. I'm going to outline her irises and outline her pupils. Same thing here. I'm going to start with her eyebrows. I'm not worried about them being perfect. I don't know anybody that has a perfect eyebrow. Okay. And then, like I said, just bring a little bit of that up here for her eyelids. Highlight her nostrils. Maybe bring just a little bit of that black down here. What I'm doing is I'm just picking up a little bit of that black off the nostrils that I used, and I'm just bringing that up along her nose. Okay. Now her lips, I think I might do that with a Neo color. Let me grab those and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've decided I'm actually going to use my Lumiere paints for her eyes color, and I'm going to use my Derwent pencil for her lips. The color I've got is fuchsia. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put the fuchsia Derwent in here, and then I'll go in with a water brush and we'll make sure that we get that picked up for her. Okay, so I just did kind of a heavy an outline, just a heavy, and then I'm just going to bring the ink from the Derwent down into her lips so that they're not quite so dark. Just kind of bring that down in. Okay, bring that color down. Just want to get a little bit more on this graphite so she looks like she has a full set of lips. Alright. Okay, I like her lips. And now I'm going to take the Lumiere paints with my paintbrush, if I can find it. Okay. I need to find my paintbrush. Here we go, this one will work. I have a little one. And I'm going to take some Lumiere. She's going to have green eyes. This paintbrush looks like it's in rough shape. Love her green eyes. I'd love to have green eyes. I think green eyes are so pretty. Okay. Now I need to, she needs some more shadow here down under her chin. I need to decide what I'm going to do for her hair. And then we have to figure out what her name is. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've got her eyes done. I want to put some shadow in here, and I'm going to do it with this black, I'm sorry, that was my cell phone. I'm going to do it with this black pencil that we used earlier. And I'm just going to use my little smudge pen here just to kind of give her some shadows here on her neck. My smudger. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing around her face. On this part of her face. Give her a little bit more smudgy. And it's just going to create like a shadow around her. Give her a little bit more of a dimension so that she's not quite so flat. Alright. A little of that off. Okay. Now I'm going to take, I just don't like quite so much on the side here. Now because she has green eyes, I've decided, whoops, my pencil's going to go crazy. Alright, what I've decided is she is going to have turquoise and green hair. Sorry, I have a blanket on the back of my chair and it keeps shoving down in behind me. It drives me crazy. So I'm going to actually start out with a little bit darker blue. Let's see, where are we going to go with her hair today? And she looks funny, doesn't she? So we're going to start with this blue. Then I'm going to go in with the turquoise. And basically kind of go over the same area that I did with her blue. Just giving her several different colors. And as I am sitting here drawing her, I'm thinking about what her name is going to be. And I think her name is going to be Sarah. Again, I'm just using another color of a green to add for her hair. Like I said, I don't leave myself much room on this, do I? Another green. And these are all just different shades of green, different shades of blue. And what I'll do is when I activate them, it'll basically give her a multi-shaded hairdo. Not sure I like this here that's going on, but hey, it is what it is. We have a small picture to work with, right? Okay. And another green. She looks like she woke up out of bed on that side. Okay. We're going to take our small brush with a little bit of water, and all I'm going to do is basically just activate the color. I'm not really going to redraw her hair per se. I'm just activating what's there. And what it's going to do is give her a texture of hair. We'll let the water do what it needs to do with the color. Okay. So this is basically just waking up all those different neo colors that I put down, and allowing them to create the shadows and effects in her hair. Oops, I don't want her face blue. I know. Alright. Okay. I like it. I like her hair. Not sure what's going on up here. I think we're just going to add a little bit more to her lift up here. Let's give her some more color up in here. Alright, and again, go back in with the brush. And I'm just letting the water actually do the shading for me. Alright, she's getting a whole head of hair. Her face is too big not to have a whole head of hair, right? So let's just give her a whole head of hair. There. See how easy that was? Okay, now I want to take this bottom here and I want to get rid of the white. So I'm just taking one of my Neo colors and going in. And again, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to let the water activate the color that's here. And we're going to dry this all up, and then I'm going to write her name down here on the bottom. Now another thing I'd like to do is take my real tiny paintbrush. I'm going to cover this before I spill it again, which I've already done today. I'm going to take my little tiny paintbrush, and I just want to give her a couple more highlights in her eyes, just to give her a little bit more life. I'm going to give her a little bit of highlight here on her bottom lip. I'm also going to give her a little bit more, that's way too much, a little bit more of a highlight here. And in the whites of her eyes. Just barely touching it, just trying to make it pop a little bit more with the white. I'm going to put a little bit more shine here on the end of her nose. Just a touch here going into her forehead. And I think she needs to have some rosy cheeks. So let's take just a little bit of this, just take a little bit of this white, or I'm sorry, the Neo color. Just a touch, I don't want a whole lot. And I'm just going to add some rose to her cheeks. Because if she lives in New York and goes outside, she's going to have cold, rosy cheeks. Oops, that's too much. Okay, I'm going to dry her up, and then we're going to go ahead and write her name on the bottom. Again, you're looking at Sarah, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got Sarah here, and she is pretty much done, but we are going to write her name. And there she is. There is Sarah. So I hope you've enjoyed. As always, be kind, have fun. That's what life's all about. And until next time, happy creating. Thanks for watching. Bye.